Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. My guest today is Bruce Larsen, an artist whose work has been on display here at Troy University, and thank you for joining us here today.
Sure.
And as I mentioned, your work had been on display here at the International Arts Center, and an opportunity for folks to see some of your work firsthand here on the Troy University campus. First and foremost, just how did it make you feel to have your stuff here on display at Troy?
Well, first of all, I was born and raised in Alabama, but it's my first time being in Troy. I don't know how that happened because it's really an incredible place. I mean, it's a little island in the middle of Alabama. It's the cultural diversity and the progressive views here are refreshing.
And then having a venue like the International Arts Center, you mentioned there you've never been here, but then to have some place like that to show your work, obviously that's got to be a little bit of a surprise as well.
It was a surprise, yeah. And Noel's been a friend of mine for 13 years. So to be, displayed next to Noel and in such a professional, beautiful building and in a progressive place is triply.
It's good. And now you're going to have two works that are going to stick around here at the International Arts Center. Tell us a little about having an opportunity to leave some of your work behind for folks to enjoy for as long as they want to enjoy it. So,
well, I picked those two pieces because there's a lot of history in them. It's a lot of my own family history, and actually there's the hood or the top plate of a boat my father rebuilt. And so I can put a lot of my own family history into a permanent exhibition is a nice way to, I wouldn't say get rid of it, but what do you do with an old boat top? Mm-hmm. I mean, I have to keep it, but what I want to do in the long run is honor it. I remember it from when I was a little boy, and getting it into a museum is a beautiful way to...
And it's there for everyone to enjoy from that point on. And if you ever want to come back and visit it, you know where it's going to be. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's talk a little bit about your work, because a lot of it, and anybody that went and saw the work, and amazing work, I walked through to get a chance to see it. It's kind of found objects, kind of, and repurposed into new wonderful pieces. So how do you do that?
I guess I had a pile of metal before I even knew that I was going to be an artist. I mean, I always liked to draw, but I was always attracted to metal. It's like a magnetism almost. And I used to ride a lot of motorcycles, and when I'd fix them, I'd save the gears, and I just started saving more gears and pieces. And like I said, long before I knew what they were for, I didn't think I was going to make a living or a career out of it. And I did a lot of different things in the art world, but finally came back to, I moved to Fairhope to kind of let all the crazy lifestyle go and raise my children. And I found my karma just walking the beaches, picking up driftwood, and I just started putting things together, and it was very natural for me.
And that combination of wood and metal and other objects in there, how do you figure out how to mesh all of those different, materials together to be able to create some of the things that you've put together?
Well, the metal's easy. You just weld it together. It's when you start adding driftwood or glass, and then you have a lot of different techniques for, assembling that. But I don't know. I've just always had a passion for things, and kind of an insanity of hoarding them. And then it feels good the way I clean up is doing art.
Did something like call out to you? Do you walk by and you're like, that right there has got to be a part of this piece?
I mean, I'm not really it sounds crazy, but I'm not really in charge. I mean,
really?
I'm the vessel that's doing it, but they kind of put themselves together. I found that if I start a piece, I'll have everything I need. I don't have to go look for something somewhere else. Usually it's all just at my feet right around me. And I don't know if it's calling, or if I just kind of in my mind can look at it and go, oh, there's a deer. But usually I don't even have to go look for anything.
And it's always amazed me when someone can walk by and see a piece of driftwood or a piece of metal and then figure out that can be something else and kind of, I guess, upcycle and turn into something that most people think was junk and turn into art.
But I think everybody has that. Everybody looks at a fallen tree or picks up a piece of driftwood on the beach and that looks like a goat head. You know, I mean, I think everybody does that, but I've just got a lot of that.
Well, here's hoping that folks enjoy the works that you've donated here for many years to come. And I want to thank you here for joining us here today on Trojan Talk. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.